Welcome to the Makeover Your Mindset podcast. I'm Cassie McKenzie. Think of me as your BFF for manifestation and high vibe mindset makeovers. It's my personal mission to turn your inspiration into action so you can be, do, and have everything you've ever dreamed of having in life. This podcast will focus a ton on creating fulfilling relationships with money, friends, and soulmates, and inspire you to have fun so you can live the most extraordinary life you've ever imagined. If you're ready to take to the next step, then you've come to the right place. Thanks again for joining me. Now let's begin. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Makeover Your Mindset podcast. This is just such an enjoyable thing for me to do and provide for the whole Makeover Your Mindset community. Today's episode is super special. We have Miss Wild Savannah herself back on the podcast. I'm so excited. She's here to talk about how her retreat went. Now, if you recall, a couple months ago, she was a guest on this podcast, and it was before she had her retreat in Joshua Tree. So I invited her back on to tell us about some of the transformations that her retreat attendees and clients had and really illustrate some of the benefits that you can expect from jumping into one of these like all-inclusive and all-encompassing transformational events where you're with, 10 other people that are like-minded and that, looking for huge transformation and big shifts in their life, with that accountability that you have day to day and just really having that sense of community and feeling like somebody's got your back right next to you. So I am completely thrilled to provide this get Savannah back in front of you guys again. She's an amazing woman who's empowering women all over the world. So please enjoy this episode and welcome her on to the show. Also, we are right in the middle of the Manifest $3,000 in 30 days challenge. If you haven't yet joined this challenge, I'm hosting it via email and in the private Facebook group, The Badass Manifestation Queen. And it's just something I swear I am so completely pumped to bring you. So if you're new to manifestation and you're looking to see some extra cash in your life, or maybe you're a pro manifester already and you want a refresher, this is a great opportunity for you. So there's still time for you to hop on the train here. You can go to makeoveryourmindset.com/manifest and you'll start getting the emails with day number 1 on there, but you can catch up and do it live time in the Facebook group. I'm going live every single day to do like a quick lesson around the around that day's topic. So really everything from manifestation to the mindset you need to be in, like how to transform your internal life and your internal mindset to see results in real life for you, which results would be more money in your pocket, a better relationship with money, like feeling better about the topic and feeling better about any debt and the savings that you're building and all the things. So without any further introduction, please enjoy this episode, and thank you guys so much for leaving reviews. If you are absolutely loving these episodes, especially this one, please leave a review on iTunes, and you can leave a 5-star rating and a review. If you screenshot the review and send it to hello@makeoveryourmindset.com, I will send you a copy of my free Supercharge Manifestation Queen book. So it's an ebook, perfect for your Kindle or your iPad. So please be sure to head to leaving reviews. Like podcasts like this really rely on reviews for more people to find it and for more people to get all the good stuff and all the good mind food. So thanks so much for joining again, guys. Enjoy Savannah, and as always, I love you all, and I'm so thankful for everyone who listens to this podcast. Okay, welcome back for another episode of the Makeover Your Mindset podcast. I'm Cassie McKenzie, and I'm so excited to have a special guest back on the podcast. You might remember her, Savannah. She's a lifestyle creator, a renowned motivational speaker, mindset master, and spiritual rebel. I love it. And she's been pushing the boundaries of ordinary life since she entered this world. Savannah's on a mission to globally inspire women to live untamed and unapologetic lives. And she helps women who feel stuck, restless, and unfulfilled in their lives because deep down they know they were made for more and have designed a life that everyone else but themselves are proud of. Wait, yeah. So
yeah. Everyone but themselves. I didn't realize my bio was so long. I think I need to shorten it after listening to that. But thank you, Cassie, for such a warm introduction. I'm blushing over here. I was already red from yoga, but I'm really blushing.
Well, I don't know if everybody remembers, like, from your last episode about how, like, you have your own Wild Within podcast and, you're an international retreat host and all of that, and how, like, you use your own, platforms for, like, helping women who want to go bigger in life. And I absolutely love that. So, and you recently I'm so excited to have you on here right now because I really wanted you to talk about and give us an update on your retreat and all of that in life and yoga and all the things that go together.
All the good things. All the good things. Oh, girl. Well, thank you so much. Just like I said, thank you once again for having me. Like, I see you showing up, and I feel we kind of are in the same, like, blossoming of our own journey. So it's so great. Like, I see you every day showing up on Instagram, and the days that I find that I don't want myself, I'm like, Cassie's out there doing it. I got to do it too. So you are just as much as I am, just going out there and taking charge of creating and designing and the life you want while turning that into a service that you can provide for other women. And I think that's so beautiful. So thank you too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so many. I think last time I was on here, I was still like in the baby phases of, well, I knew I was hosting a retreat. Everything was set, but I still was getting people in there. And the retreat happened, and it was better than I could have even imagined. For those of you who don't know, I hosted a retreat actually, I think almost a month ago. It was June 18th, 19th. So almost exactly a month ago in Joshua Tree with 10 women. And this was my second retreat that I hosted. And just from hosting my first one to hosting this one, I think the amount of, like, impact in women that are, because now they see what I do, they know what I'm about, and they were coming, like, ready and willing to, like, learn and go deep. And I hosted the space, but much of what was uncovered and rediscovered and ignited there was from the women just truly themselves showing up and playing big and being vulnerable and just looking at the eyes through, like, the lens of curiosity once again and having fun.
Yeah, importantly. Yeah, so how did, I know that you had a retreat in the past too, so how did this one differ from that one? You probably
oh my gosh have. Yeah, so many things.
Yeah.
I think I learned a lot this time. My first retreat, because I think as women, we always think that we have to do everything alone. And my first retreat, I was like, I'll do it all. I'll do everything. I'm the one that travels. I'm the one that will speak. And this time I actually partnered with another coach. And then I actually chose a day where I brought in someone to do a energy healing and releasing workshop, as well as 2 speakers. Which I got great feedback from, and I take this as a huge valuable lesson in life, is that, the old, like, African proverb that always sticks with me is, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I really learned that by just calling on your fellow soul sisters and fellow support systems, that you can create magic. And it's even more magic than you would by yourself. So just bringing more people on, I think, really allowed different viewpoints for the women. So maybe if they don't resonate with me about something, they resonated with somebody else about something. That was really beneficial. And I myself, as a retreat host, I really just like laid, like, I don't want to say like a laissez-faire attitude, but I really am learning. You know, I just recently had my birth chart read, and they said that I have a paradox chart, which is half of my signs are all in like this Mars dominating masculine, and half of it is in this feminine. So I'm always at this kind of, I don't want to say like tyranny, but there's just this opposite pulling forces in my birth chart. And she said that I'm a spiritual warrior, but in this lifetime, I need to learn that I'm not going to battle anymore.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so this second retreat really felt like that. Like I was able to kind of sit back and like reap the benefits, I want to say, but really just enjoy it as well and learn. And I think that comes with bringing people on, but really just enjoying like every bit of it instead of being so worried and thinking I have to have everything prepared.
Right. Because so many times, like the details we miss or that we get wrapped up on, like nobody else even notices, right? So
Yeah.
it's like a wedding, you know, where you're like, oh my God, but this isn't done and this isn't done. It's like nobody knew anyway. Just make sure they have enough tequila and champagne and they'll be fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. But that, like, it's really interesting that that's like such a good metaphor for life too, that like, you know, it's okay to ask for help and it's okay to like, you know, do the self-development or even hire coaches, or like, especially if you've been trying to do things alone, like your whole life, or trying to, you know, fix a certain part of your life. Like sometimes you do need help from, you know, that outside person who isn't as attached to it and who can like get it done for you like so much faster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, girl, I signed up with a year business coach. So girl,
Yeah.
I'm all about, again, outside help. I don't think I hold all the answers.
Yeah, for sure.
At
Yeah.
all.
But like a lot of people, it takes a long time to realize that, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's really interesting and a good thing to finally get to the point that you're like, okay, yeah, you know, I think I can, you know, outsource this or let this person take that and, you know, kind of get those roles all, I don't know, what's the word? Now I'm losing my word, but.
Yeah, no, I read this book called Sacred Success, and that, because I'm always trying to learn, always trying to grow, and Sacred Success, they interviewed like 7 millionaire women, or like women that were running 7-figure businesses, and that's one of all, a common theme was that they all wished that they would have asked for help or support sooner.
Yeah.
Because we go on and try to tackle the world, and I think some of mine was a little ego driven, but also not wanting to like impose on anybody else. Like I didn't want to be a burden and ask for help, but also like I can do it on my own. But and really, as I've developed more as a coach and in my own spiritual practice and diving into like the shadow sides of being an independent driven woman, is also like I can be a little stubborn, I can be a little closed off. So yeah, I think like you're saying, just really cultivating awareness around what's serving us, what's not serving us, and not being afraid to ask for help.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So now going forward, so has anything changed like with your focus with people that you work with and help, and like what's been the biggest like win for you in terms of like helping your clients out too?
Yeah. So you know, something that's shifting for me, and I kind of and this is just happening kind of I think just now as I got this new coach. I love the self-development world. I want to help people on a larger scale, but I don't necessarily know if that's going to be through like one-on-one coaching.
Yeah.
That I like in being, and this is like me being vulnerable right now, saying this and not feeling bad about it. There's something I still haven't figured out exactly what it is, but I am like a visionary and a creative, and I like creating things, but the like monotonous task
Yeah.
drain my energy.
Yeah.
So I would love to focus on more like events, retreats, experiences for people versus the coaching. And this is for anybody listening, you know, for a long time I was like beating myself up about this because I thought like, well, I'm not doing my due diligence. I'm not putting in the work. I'm not like, it shouldn't be this easy, my success, right? I thought that like I had to do the coaching, then I could do the retreats, then I could be a speaker, then I could write a book, then I would be a renowned figure or something. But really, you know, as you grow and as you up level, you have more onions and challenges that you're going to face, and really like owning that. Like that's, I like creating, and I love helping people and I love connecting with people, but one-on-one coaching I don't love, and being okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a world where everybody wants to be coaches.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think just like owning that within myself.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it all comes down to what you're aligned with. Because, like, you don't have to do any one thing, you know, before another thing, you know? So whatever you're aligned to do will feel like it's so easy. And that goes for so many, you know, facets of life. I found, at least, you know?
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, that's exactly what I preach, but then living, you know, you have to really practice what you preach. And for me, I kept telling myself like, no, Savannah, you can't just focus on like the big things, like the retreat events. Like you have to do your work first. You have to gain a following. You have to, like, I'm telling myself to come back down to all the stuff that doesn't like light me up.
Right. Yeah.
Just goes back to like the stories we tell ourselves.
It sure is. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, can somebody just manage my Instagram for me and I'll be happy, because like it's like that is like the equivalent of doing expensive.
Seriously.
Sometimes I'm like, oh, how do I even begin? So, and there's so many things that you can do as like a new coach or entrepreneur. Like I was just laughing with my coach, Kara, because we were, you know, she, as one of the things that she has us do, it's, you know, she's got like a 8-series part of like, you know, behind the scenes on how to put your business together and stuff. And there was one module that's all about like your personal visibility strategy and, you know, how to like put all of the Instagram and Facebook together, like whatever you decide to do. And I told her, I was like, oh my God, like I listened to this like 25-minute part of this module and got like heart palpitations, because the type A in me was like, holy shit, there's all these things I need to be doing. There's all these things I should be doing. And I'm like, like you know, that's just like, as you did your disc profile, that's the D. That's like, you know, like, oh my God, I've got it. It's the driver, you know, I've got to do this. I've got to do that. I've got to do that. And so I was like, no, what I need to do is just go sit down, review everything, and pick like 3 things that I want to do and not overwhelm myself. Right. So it's like, but there's so many things, and then you try to do all of them and you end up not getting very good at any of them. And then, you know, there's 6 months has gone by and you're like, well, I don't understand why I'm exactly where I was before. Like, what the hell?
Oh my gosh, girl, that was me the last like 3 months. Like, I mean, I'm sure from outside maybe it looks like I am doing things, but you really do get your stuff, like you're saying, you're trying, especially like as a multi-passionate woman, like you're trying to do all the things, and my whole audience knows like I'm a doer. So I have like shiny object syndrome, you know, and I'll just go because I love like creating, love doing, like that's my jam. But you, like you're saying, just come back home and what really lights you up, you know?
Right. Yeah, and that could go for all sorts of different parts of your life, like even exercise. Like I am a yoga person for sure. I need to go running for 5 miles because I feel like I won't get anything out of it. You know, I'm not going to want to do it again, but like I went to these beach yoga classes just recently, and they're not strenuous. It's like an hour, and most of it is just like holding the poses and stretching into them, you know, like it's not like the hard yoga I used to do, but I honestly feel like I've gotten just as much of a benefit out of it because I don't know, there's something about like quieting your mind and stretching and using your whole body as the weight, that does way more for me than, running 5 or 10 miles, right? Which I've never ran more than 5 miles before in my life. Let me just clarify that for all you listeners out there. Don't you feel bad? So
Yeah. Oh my God, girl. Same. No, and I think especially for like a woman that are more type A and more domineering, and like anybody that's creating a business, just like, I mean, I'm going to take that back. Anybody. Yoga is good for anybody, but really taking time out of your day to like have some restorative processes, because
yeah.
we're so externally focused all day, and to
Mhm.
really guide yourself to go inward.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm so thankful for yoga, and definitely not those ones where people turn it into like a boot camp. I don't do well in those. I get up and like walk out of it because I'm like, this is not what yoga is about. No, this is not. It's a chance for me to like get strong, but also get centered like for one time. Like my type A goes there for the opposite effect, not like, because
Yeah,
Sheila's
not a
telling
boot camp.
10 push-ups in between my downward dog. No, no, Sheila can just
I
go
love that.
happened. So,
Oh my gosh, I love it.
but yeah, back to your retreat. So what do you think? I know we talked about this on the last one, but now that you've done your second one and you've got that in your belt, what do you think are the biggest transformations that people can get or expect from a retreat? Because let's be honest, like a retreat in comparison to like taking a course obviously are at two different price points, right? And they require a lot more, financially from someone in a short amount of time, right? So, what would you say makes it totally worth it for people who are looking to attend one and, walk away with like that, oh God, that was so worth it, like Tony Robbins 3-day like feeling.
Right. Yes. Oh my gosh. Such a great question. I love that question. So obviously, like if you're going to a destination retreat, you're going to be paying a little more because it's a destination. But the value versus investment, just like I was alluding to earlier, if we're doing a course or you're doing an online module, like that's using your masculine part of your brain. That's you're
Mhm.
using your mind to do that. And then if you're someone like me, like one of my things that I struggle with is accountability. So I can learn. I love learning. I'm a student of life. But actually embodying that and be holding yourself accountable to what you've learned, that I feel is where a lot of people take these courses and then don't really gain what they expected out of it, because there's no one to hold them accountable except for themselves. And I will be the first one to let myself down before I'll let anybody else down. And so what my retreats, and what I will say for any retreats, for your retreat, if people are like on the fence about should I do a course or should I do a retreat, I mean 100%, if you're like me, if you are struggling with the accountability part, retreats are where you are going to be immersed.
Mhm.
And then that's really how you learn and how you feel to embody your teaching. So it's not only you're using your mind, but they're creating space for you to embody what you learn.
Right.
And that's one of, at my retreats, it's called the Feminine Surrender. And we really do a lot of like breath work, of grounding, of yoga, and we do workshops, but I, it's, I believe that everybody, you hold within you all the answers. So
Mhm.
it's really just about allowing you to dive deeper within yourself. And that's something you're not going to get with a course.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And on top of like the sisterhoods, the beautiful locations. I mean, I think as women also, we don't realize how much we isolate ourselves. Like for me, I crave connection and having a supportive community. And just recently moving to LA, like my boyfriend will tell you, I don't have many girlfriends, and it's because
Yeah.
I've been working on my business, and that's something I really crave. So going and having, I mean, some of my fondest moments when I was younger is like having sleepovers with girls and just forgetting about all your cares of the worry, and that's, or all your worries in the world. What is it? All your cares. I don't know, something. But when you're at a retreat, you're not going back to like your grumpy husband that night after you get done with the course. You're not still having to worry about feeding and bathing your kids. You don't have to go to work in the morning. You're truly embodying like what you want to create and feel and experience in life. And like that makes it priceless to me.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, well, and that is what like really helps you to solidify that transformation, because there's nothing like when you're immersed in an unfamiliar environment and you're like forced to get uncomfortable from the beginning, and like there's 7 more days of being uncomfortable. So you become like, you start to embrace it and, become more open to everything that are the possibilities for you, so it makes such a big difference. Being able to like open yourself up to that and also not like regress back into like regular life, right? So quickly. So
I think that like all humans were just like a creature of comfort. And I'm actually reading this book by Gay Hendricks. It's called Stop Doing That Shit. And I love the book, but he says that we have this like underlying idea of how we expect life to be. So like life is a struggle, life is hard, life is easy, life is however we like labeled life. And we're always going to retreat back to that like all the time. So if you are doing a course at home and you're doing it, you're getting all these positive emotions, affirmations, all these feel good vibes, but then as soon as you're done with that, you're going to retreat back to your normal. But at a retreat, you can't do that. It's like you have to like a punch to your routine,
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Because you need that to like stick with you, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Well, what else? So you're working on one, is it your Tulum? Is that correct? Tulum in November?
Yeah. Yes. I'm excited. We both have a retreat.
I know. I think they're both the same exact week too. I want to say, I think right Thanksgiving. Yeah. Right? So what is the theme of your retreat this time?
So I tried to do I'm doing a little bit of rebranding, and I believe I'm going to start doing events, which are going to be called the Embodiment Experience. And then my retreats will all still be the Feminine Surrender. But really, what women come there for is just to like get reacquainted with like their true selves, like the surrendering to what is and who they are, and then building from there, building the self-worth, the love, the confidence, the clarity, and really going home with intention to not go back to just checking the time clock and paying bills, because that's not what life's about.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know personally, I'm a lot very, very masculine, energy wise. I don't have a mustache or anything. I mean, like masculine and like very, so much like a doer, and it can be like challenging for me personally to, sit back and allow, things to flow or intentionally, you know what I mean? So that's something I definitely have been working on myself too. So I'm sure there's a lot of women out there that, that fall into the same category there. So how many people do you expect to have? How many women?
So this will be a little larger. So this one will be 15 participants.
Okay, cool.
And then, I'm just like slowly, because I don't want it to be too big, because I think that's having the intimate kind of relationship. So I'm just working with the numbers. Last time it was 10. That was beautiful. I think we could bump it up a little bit.
Yeah, cool. Well, as we get closer, you'll have to keep giving me more information on it. We can, cross promote and tell, the whole audience about your, feminine surrender events. I love that idea. I'll have to come to yours in the future for sure.
I know, and same. And what about you? Do you know yours is going to be like a money makeover, or how is yours?
Yeah, so mine in Bali is going to be a money mindset centered retreat. And so what we're going to do is work on like uncovering a lot of the subconscious blocks that have been there, and work on reprogramming your subconscious as well through a lot of the NLP techniques that I learned becoming an NLP practitioner, but also taking advantage of a lot of the beautiful sites that you can see, like Ubud and Uluwatu, and a lot of the gratitude and abundance that's already there. I think it's such a good mix for like a place like Bali is such a great place for a retreat where you're trying to, transform your money mindset, because it's such a place of gratitude with all, like all the little gratitude and little things everywhere.
I love. They every morning they're offering.
Yeah. That's exactly. So that's all going to be part of it, but also living in luxury the entire week too. So really embodying the new, money mindset and new, transformation that all of these women are going to make by the end of the week. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be amazing. So what better week?
Oh my God, it is.
So yeah, I think it's going to be like a perfect timing too for it. So yay.
Yeah. Oh my God. No.
Yeah. So
I'm so excited.
Thank you so much. We'll have to talk again before you do your thing. Is there anything else that you're working on currently that you'd like to tell the audience about?
No, I just know I just told you, I think I might have mentioned this before we were talking about it. I just hired a new business coach I'm very excited about, and I think I'm going under like rebranding and shifting my focus. So I think there's just going to like keep your eye out, because there is going to be a lot of like huge transformations going on.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I can't wait to see them. And yeah, so the audience, y'all can find all of Savannah's information in the show notes for this episode. And Savannah, thank you so much for taking the time to be on this podcast episode. And everyone, be sure to go check out Savannah's Wild Within podcast too. It's awesome. She always has such great guests. And then your group is the Untamed, right? And Unapologetic Women. Right? Is that? Let me go back and see. Or do you want to?
Yes, on Facebook. Yep.
You can find
you are pulling it all out correctly. I have a podcast called Wild Within, and then I also have a Facebook group called Untamed and Unapologetic Women Who Want More Out of Life. And you can find me on Instagram. It's just @Wild Savannah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love hanging out on my Facebook group. So come join that. That's like my favorite place to hang out. As you've heard, Cassie and I have. Well, maybe Cassie likes it. I don't know about it. I just dislike Instagram at this moment. I'll be honest.
Yeah, Zuckerberg, you're listening to that. So cool. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. And we will be talking to you all again soon. Bye.
Loved this episode of the Makeover Your Mindset podcast? Head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It's very much appreciated so more high vibe people like you can find us. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next episode.